The newest episode of Attack on Titan just came out like the day before yesterday, and I'm left with like a million feelings about it. So let's start at the beginning. I've been watching Attack on Titan since it came out, which is at this point like 8 years ago, and to this day it's still one of my favorite anime. There's just something about it that I just love so much, and seeing its popularity, I'm not the only one. So of course I was hyped for the last part of the last season, especially after the cliffhanger of the episode, like closing off the last part of season 4. It has been a year as well, so I was hyped, which is understandable. So on Sunday I've been checking all websites to see when the simulcast would be. I've been refreshing Crunchyroll the entire night. When it was finally up, the servers went down. Thankfully the next morning the servers were stable and I could watch. And then I watched it and I kind of lost the hype I had, which was very strange because it wasn't a bad episode in any way. But still, the episode was over and I was like, already? I was not left breathless, not left with an adrenaline rush that I was expecting to have. I was just feeling like the episode just started. I didn't feel like much happened. I was mostly just confused, I guess. I've been trying to get in my thoughts in the last day or so, and I heard some other people's opinions, but it got me thinking. Am I still watching because I still love what's going on? Or am I watching because I loved what it used to be and I just want to know how it ends? I'm unsure at this point. I think what I'm mostly afraid of is that I'm gonna be disappointed. That 8 years of fond memories on this show is just gonna be sullied by an ending I'm not satisfied with. And that's completely something for me. Like, everyone else can completely love it. But I also heard the rumors about the manga ending not being as people expected. So let's dive a little bit deeper into what I was feeling while watching it, and dividing it in a spoiler-free and a spoiler segment. There will be chapters here, so if you want to skip a certain segment, you can just skip ahead. So to start with the spoiler-free segment, I felt like there was a lot happening, but none of it was like connecting emotionally. It was just a lot of action. If you like that, it is certainly something you can get an adrenaline rush out of. But the thing I'm watching Attack on Titan for is for the story, for the emotions, for the characters mostly. And I felt like it just wasn't there much. And this can also just be something for just this episode and next episode. All of what I'm saying now is just complete nonsense. But it's just like after a year of a break and labeling it as a part 2 of a season, this episode was not what I expected. Not something I would expect to be the first episode after such a long time, especially as the last episode of the first part of season 4 ended on what I personally thought a little bit of a cliffhanger. It was so much happening, so many shots, so many feelings, so much hype, and it didn't pay off. Maybe I should have rewatched the first part, but I also trusted the anime to just get me back into the story, and maybe that was a mistake of mine. What I'm trying to say is that I'm mostly there for the characters and for the emotions, but for the characters that I actually like love, they were barely there in the episode. And there was something happening to 2 particular characters, which I will get into in a second, which I would have wanted some elaboration on, but didn't happen. You were just left there. I'm so confused, but you must be able to tell that by now. It could very well be that I'm looking for things that aren't there and I shouldn't have expected to be there. We can all agree that where Attack on Titan currently is, it's nothing like the show was in season 1 back in 2014, and that's completely logical. But I only wonder whether it lost some of the things that made Attack on Titan Attack on Titan. It's completely logical for a story to evolve over time. Like, you need that, otherwise you can't let it run for so long. Like, it has 4 seasons now, it has like 30 volumes, it has side stories. Of course it needs to evolve, of course it needs to become more than it was in season 1. And it's not like I'm dissatisfied with how the lore is progressing. There were so many revelations in season 3 and the start of season 4 that maybe I'm waiting for the lore to progress in the same pace as it has been, and it has been a little bit silent. We don't know much as a viewer. Maybe it's to preserve some sort of tension, to keep the viewer wondering, the same way as you were in season 1, where you just didn't know know how the Titans worked and why the Titans were and why Eren could turn into a Titan, you know? But I feel like we had such a big lore dump, and right now there just isn't development. It's taking a long time. And maybe it's because the shift of who the actual protagonist is has changed, because it doesn't feel like Eren is really the protagonist that he used to be. And we don't know what his plans are. We don't know what exactly he is gonna do, what he's gonna pull off, what are his motives. Because right now it feels like he is both very out of character and very in character, and contradicts a little bit with the boy he used to be. And of course there was a time skip of years, and he just wants to save the world in his own wicked, twisted way. But I'm just waiting for the things to click into place. I'm waiting for more lore about the Titans, about how things work, because we got a lot of it and suddenly none. Right now it's just characters in pain and fighting and being distressed, and even though I kind of dig that, it's not what I watch Attack on Titan for. Okay, to dive into the spoiler section, because I can't go on rambling much more without blatantly spoiling a lot of the episode. So yeah, spoiler warning here in the chapters. You can skip ahead to my outro, whatever. So last chance to click away if you haven't seen episode 1. Are you gone? Good. So at the start of the episode, you see Levi Ackerman just lying there for dead. It's the first episode of the new part, and you just put the most beloved character of the show as if he's dead, and there isn't much to confirm either way. Like, my anime logic would say, okay, Hanji is surrounded by people who want to detain her, aren't trusting her, she wants to get away, so she could very well be lying that he's dead. But on the other hand, what happened could easily kill him, and how he lied there, I was just in shock, and I couldn't put that shock anywhere because it was just cut off. And of course you see Hanji escape with Levi, or Levi's body, using the diversion of everything going on to get away. But it doesn't feel like this is how Levi Ackerman is supposed to die. And it could be like a shocker to get people back into the show, or just to keep people on their toes, but I don't know. And for a large part of the episode, the main crew, Armin, Mikasa, they aren't even in the shot. They are still locked up in the basement of that building, and they're only freed at the very end. At this point, they feel like some very far away side characters. They didn't feel like they were part of the main crew for 3.5 seasons. It could very well be that I'm reading way too much into this, that I was expecting things that I shouldn't be expecting, that this is just an episode to get the ball rolling, to hype up, and that next episode there's gonna be a lot, you know, that you just needed kind of filler almost. You even barely saw anything of Eren himself. He was just a Titan the entire episode. And yeah, I guess we saw a lot of Peak and Gabi, but like, fuck Gabi. I guess the thing is, it was so hyped up. I didn't watch a trailer, I didn't watch anything. I was just going from where I was left 1 year ago. I just want this to be good. I just want this to be the epic ending of a modern classic that we're all desiring this to be. So that could put my expectations a lot higher, but at the same time, I am fully in my right to have high expectations based on all the other episodes that we have seen over the years, of all the story we have seen, of everything it has been hyped up to be, of everything it has been leading up to be. Like, we have no reason to not think that this is gonna be epic. So for this first episode to be like this feels a bit weird. But I do have a theory that this season was never meant to be a two-parter, that it was meant to be like a full-blown season. Maybe it was gonna run a little bit long compared to other things, but like, it's Attack on Titan, it could do that. So this would just be an in-between episode. Like, in the first part of the 4th season, we had some other slower episodes where nothing was really happening. It was just a lot of action, not much story, and they had to change it a little bit because of how the manga was progressing, and they perhaps wanted the manga to end before the anime did, and how it went with that Wit didn't want to continue Attack on Titan, Mappa had to take over. There was a lot of things going on, and I feel like they split it up at a later stage into making this season than it was intended to be, and that the quality of this episode shouldn't be measured as a first episode, but like the 16th. That the story is still rolling, and that they added a little bit more hype and adrenaline to the 15th episode, just so it could be the ending of One one part so we can continue with a semi-season finale. I'm trying to see it as that way. I'm trying to see it like, okay, we just had 1 year break between the 15th and the 16th episode, so I'm not gonna see it as the semi-fifth season as some people make it out to be. I'm just gonna see this as the season resumed on Sunday and we are getting weekly episodes until we get the actual finale, which changes my perspective a little bit, but still it wasn't the quality episode I would expect from a 16th episode, especially after the 15th. For all we know, I upload this video a few days later, the second episode comes out, and all what I currently say is just wiped into the void. I'm just worried that something I've loved so much for so many years, along with so many people. Like, Attack on Titan isn't for no reason called a modern classic. It is not for no reason so popular, so hyped, and people were actually like properly excited for this last season because, like I said, everything going on would make us expect that this is gonna be epic, like beyond epic. Anyway, I think I got what I wanted to say across. I can keep on rambling in circles for like another hour if I want to, but all I can do is like wait and see what happens with the second episode of this new cour, because I truly want to trust the story and Mappa, because Mappa has not disappointed me so far. I want to trust Isayama for choosing what's best for the story, and obviously a lot of people already know what the ending of the manga is, and there's still a slight chance we get an anime only ending. Yeah, it's just a waiting game, see for ourselves what's going on and hope for the best mostly. So yeah, thank you for coming to my confused rant video. I am not exactly sure what the call is. It's just I had a lot of thoughts and I needed to put them somewhere, and I thought a video was the best idea. If you want to hear any of my other anime or manga opinions, want to watch some stream highlights, or want to catch my content live, because sometimes I record on stream, go and subscribe down below, click that bell, or go to twitch.tv/ezzydes, where I stream several times a week. The only thing left to say for all my fellow Attack on Titan fans out there is Shinzo Wasasakiyo. Goodbye everyone, see you in the next one.